The world's largest asset manager just launched an ETF that quietly puts Bitcoin in your portfolio. And you don't even have to know what a crypto wallet is to own it, it's already trading on the TSX. I'll show you exactly how much Bitcoin is hiding inside it and whether it actually belongs in your walk. Let's get your bearings. Every bank adoption story we've covered this year has been about stablecoins, banks building their own digital dollars. This one's different. BlackRock isn't launching a coin. It's blending Bitcoin directly into a plain-looking balanced fund that anyone can buy through a normal brokerage account. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know the exact fee, the exact allocation, and whether this is a smart, low-drama way to get Bitcoin exposure or a gimmick dressed up as diversification. On August 10th, BlackRock Canada listed a new fund on the Toronto Stock Exchange called the iShares Equity plus Bitcoin ETF Portfolio, ticker IBQT. Here's the structure. About 97% of the fund sits in global equities, the kind of stock mix you'd find in any standard balanced portfolio, and the remaining 3% is allocated to Bitcoin, held through BlackRock's own Canadian-listed IBIT product. So, instead of opening a separate crypto exchange account, verifying your ID, and buying Bitcoin directly, you can get a small, fixed slice of it just by clicking buy on a fund that looks and trades exactly like every other ETF in your account. The management fee sits at 0.22%, cheap by ETF standards, and notably, cheaper than most dedicated Bitcoin-only funds. That's the mechanics. But the why now is the more interesting part, and that's where this story pulls away from everything we've covered before. Every big Canadian institutional crypto story this year has followed the same pattern. A bank or fintech builds its own stablecoin or custody product. Scotiabank's DXMC, TD Bank QCAD, National Bank joining the Tetra Digital Group coalition. Those are all plays on the payment side of crypto, building digital dollars. IBQT is something else entirely. The world's largest asset manager packaging Bitcoin as a mainstream diversification sleeve. Sized deliberately small so it doesn't scare off a conservative investor. The timing isn't random. Bitcoin's been choppy through August. Every trend line, daily, weekly, monthly, even yearly, briefly turned negative at once this week, which is exactly the kind of environment where a 3% training wheels allocation is an easier sell than go buy a whole coin. This is BlackRock betting that most people don't want to become crypto investors. They just want a slightly better performing version of the balanced fund they already own. Now here's the open loop I promised you at the top, the actual number that decides whether this belongs in your TFSA. I'll get to it right after we cover how the tax side actually works. Because IBQT trades as a normal Canadian listed ETF, not as direct crypto holdings. It's fully TFSA and RRSP eligible. No special account, no extra paperwork, no CRA reporting headache the way holding Bitcoin directly can create. Here's the number that actually matters though. A 3% allocation means Bitcoin would have to move enormously to meaningfully change your overall return. If Bitcoin doubles, your IBQT position moves by roughly 3%, not 100%. This isn't a way to get rich off Bitcoin. It's a way to hold a token amount of it without thinking about it again. That's genuinely useful for someone who's curious about Bitcoin but doesn't want to manage a separate exchange account. Remember a seed phrase or watch charts. It's genuinely useless if you're looking for real crypto upside. For that, you'd still want direct Bitcoin exposure or a dedicated fund like IBIT itself. The honest read: IBQT isn't a Bitcoin investment. It's a diversification product with a Bitcoin garnish. Small, fixed exposure won't make you rich, but it's the easiest way for a cautious investor to stop sitting on the sidelines entirely. If this kind of "what does this actually mean for my portfolio" breakdown is useful, hitting subscribe means you'll catch the next one. I cover Canadian crypto and bank adoption news every week. So, should IBQT be in your TFSA? If you want simple, low-drama exposure to Bitcoin without opening a crypto account, a 0.22% fee ETF with a 3% Bitcoin sleeve is about as low-risk an entry point as exists right now. If you're looking for real crypto growth, this isn't it. You'd want direct Bitcoin or a dedicated fund instead. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell. Next week, I'm digging into whether Canada's other big banks follow BlackRock's lead with their own blended funds. What's your take? Would you actually hold a 3% Bitcoin sleeve in your TFSA, or does it feel like a gimmick? Drop it in the comments below.